The links to join channel here over at Subscribestar. So Lord of the Rings, but not really. Fem hobbits and fem humans, otherwise known as females. So the humiliation ritual of Lord of the Rings is never ending. Every day is a fresh circle of lore hell. And if you're a hardcore fan of Lord of the Rings, most of us are just casual fans, but if you're really into it, it's got to be weird to look at these movies and think like, so you guys spent all this money and produced crap? Was that on purpose? Are you just incompetent? And you look at it and you're like, no, you got a long history in Hollywood. It can't be incompetence unless the whole industry is incompetent. And to assume that would be to say like, well, this is a schizophrenic industry. No, it's by design. It's they're doing this on purpose. This isn't it's not negligence. This is intentional. So the War of the Rohirrim is going to explore the female point of view, which is a problem because the audience is mostly male and they don't want to see the female perspective or really anything to do with feminism for good reason. It's absolute cancer. In fact, as Hollywood continues down this cringe path to the left, the audience is going further to the right, which is why you see so many films underperforming lately. If you've been paying attention, it seems like don't doesn't are there more wins than losses? Because eventually these studios are running out of other people's monies, right? It seems like there's a lot of losses to the tunes of tens of millions of dollars, if not more. Like that money adds up quick. So, guys hate feminism, obviously, and chicks don't watch these kind of films or play these kind of video games or watch the anime or read the manga. So it's a real brilliant idea to push crap that people hate. So the story here is about Helm Hammerhand from the short story about the same. Instead, the genius writers focus on the unnamed daughter, who they named Hera. The other, more egregious issue is that they are including a storyline where the men are trying to take credit away from the girl power Mary Sue purse puppies. That seems a little bit on the nose. I don't know what to tell you. This is where we are now, where it's just one effing cliche after another, and the self-awareness is lacking. And to be fair to these people, a lot of them are just rolling around in marching powder when they sit down to come up with these ideas. So the ladies are going to be dressed up like soldiers, shields and leather armor and swords and all that kind of stuff. Women historically being soldiers, not so much, because of the simple fact of biology, which now is a dirty word. They carry the babies for 9 months and then they nurse the babies and they take care of the babies and the families. It's just a simple binary. Again, sorry to be offensive. Men are biologically expendable. Men, the people, adult human males, they bear sperm. They carry the seed. That's what a man is. They're actually really expendable because one man can impregnate multiple women per night, but it takes years for a woman to raise a kid. That's why men are biologically expendable. You send them off to battle if you have too many. That's the way of the world. So sending a woman off to do battle, like this is why women are biologically hardwired to avoid high risk activities, because they're trying to protect their fertility at all costs, where men, it's just not so important. Like you can one man and 100 women can repopulate, whatever you want to repopulate, but the reverse is not true. And reality seems to be a dirty word for a lot of these people. Anyway, so this isn't the Lord of the Rings universe. It was male centered, and you don't have to jump to immediately defend that. It's okay to be male centered. That is what Tolkien envisioned. Not all things are all for all people. If they had no, we need to be inclusive. No, because by doing that, you're just too many cooks spoiling the soup. You're trying to make this all things to all people, and you're ending up with garbage. And the thing is, so when you try to go chasing this new audience, are you bringing the old audience with you? And you look at them like, no, they're absolutely not. They're not bringing the old audience. And the thing is, the insult is they're not getting the new audience, the new female audience. They did it with comic books. Now they're doing it with movies, and I think they're trying to do it with anime, with localization, maybe with manga too a little bit. But the anime localization stuff, there's a thing that came out where some SJW inserted a line about mansplaining in a Japanese cartoon. It's like, yeah, that's not really a Japanese thing, but it's good to know that your coastal SJW thought that was important. So the thing is, if they had respect for Tolkien's vision, then they would try to stay as close to it as possible. Obviously, they don't give a darn about Tolkien. He's only useful to them for the name recognition. They want to push feminism. It doesn't matter that that wasn't the spirit of the source material. And, obviously, feminism is cancer. These people ruin everything from Lord of the Rings to Star Wars to Star Trek, Ghostbusters, Doctor Who, even most Marvel and DC films. Hey, what happened to Birds of Prey or Black Widow or Black Adam or Suicide Squad or Shang-Chi or God, what was that G.I. Joe movie that came out, Snake Eyes or something, or whatever other movies. I mean, there's probably a couple of dozen of these movies, and you look at them like, so all together, these lost in the billions of dollars. That's a weird business plan where even I know these companies are huge, but when you add up all these losses, let's say it's at least with those, in the hundreds of millions of dollars. That one movie, the Red Panda movie, it's a Disney thing. I don't know what it was based on, but it's some Canadian animation, like a coming of age thing, and it was sick and twisted and degenerate. And it lost like $160 million or something crazy. I mean, like an appreciable chunk of money, even for Hollywood. That's a big chunk of change. Anyway, so I think what's going on is they hate Generation X and older, which most of you are. It shows the audience demographics. Most of you are male 45. Shocking, I know. If you're over 40, everything you thought that was cool and the stuff you grew up with, they're going to destroy. And I hate to even, knock on wood, mention something. I was going to say, mention the Turtles, the Ninja Turtles, but I forgot that they already had put a chick in there, a person of size. Ah, God, this is so hard to take. You look at these people and think you just f something to death, and then you move on to something else. So I guarantee that there's some studio guy right now who's looking at Gilligan's Island or Three's Company. They'll figure out a way to make them woke and cringy. If they had balls, they'd figure out a way to do bosom buddies. If I was doing it, I'd maybe have the hotel be all trans, but maybe have like two chicks who are trying to pass. I mean, obviously, there's no way you could do this kind of stuff. And the thing is, they really can't do anything now that is funny because everything is offensive. Is it really offensive? No, of course not. It's pseudo outrage where they have to work themselves up into things, and it's like they turn it on and off like a switch. They're not offended, but if they can get social media dopamine, then they'll pretend to be over just the stupidest stuff. So I mean, for them to be on Twitter and have like a tweet go viral and get tens of thousands of likes and retweets, it's just, I mean, it's for them, it's better than sex. So every joke worked out to be about how much they hate blonde people or Christians or some kind of stand-in for Trump and the red MAGA hat, and you have a blonde guy and a wife beater and a Christian a cross or a crucifix around his neck, and he'll be drinking beer. It was just like, oh hey, a pickup truck and a stars and bars and a rifle rack. I haven't seen that a F and 1,000 times before. So all this stuff is getting pretty old, is all I'm saying. I never thought the future would be this gay and cringy. I never imagined a world where there would be topless men and women on the White House lawn, or that so many people would just blindly march into Weimar. But here we are. Looks around, puts on the sunglasses. Yeah, nothing's changed with these dystopian nightmare. So, or that they would spend like billions of dollars to race swap everything and have it all massively underperform. Everything is so embarrassingly stupid. And so many people are afraid to call stupid ideas stupid because, oh, you didn't like the Little Mermaid? I think that's actually set to lose money. So apparently we weren't the only ones who didn't like the Little Mermaid or didn't see it, to be fair, or X-Woman or Terminator or Charlie's Angels. Like, this movie's not made for men. Why aren't men seeing my movies? I mean, I mention that thing so many times because you look at it and you're like, that is what happened. Exactly that phrase. it actually happened. It's like memes that are coming to life. This whole current year is memes coming to life. It's not for men. Why didn't men see the movie? You look at these people like, is nobody going to bring up the article from like 2 months ago? And the whole time Elizabeth Banks is talking about these movies. It's not for you, but it's yeah. But we actually need them to see the movie to make money. But what if I didn't see your movie to make money? And I didn't. Anyway, everything is stupid and just getting stupider, and nobody wants to say anything because they're afraid they'll get canceled, and nobody has says, oh, maybe we should kind of focus attention on that whole cancel culture. Maybe we should do something about that. It's like, oh, I hope everyone hopes that someone else will do something about that. Everyone just kind of accepts it and keeps their head down because, like, oh, to call out cancel culture means it's a far right wing dog whistle. To be against grooming is a far right wing Hugo Boss dog whistle. Like, so you're going to be able to manipulate people into doing some very horrific. Oh, wait, they already are doing horrific things. It's not even like the body modifications or the tattooing or the piercing or anything like that. Even getting some. Well, the thing is that like getting your breast removed means you can never breastfeed. But okay, say you plan on never having kids, or for the men, removing testicles that can never reproduce. Say they're adults, they're like 30, and I don't know, like even then I look at that like, you really don't want to reproduce functioning body parts. But the thing is, that's another argument. But for the kids, you look at the kids stuff and you're like, yeah, this should be a war crime. I mean, this is a crime against God and nature. I mean, this stuff is so evil. You have atheists who are starting to pick up the Bible or pick up are we surfing the Kali Yuga, or you're starting to take a look at religion to try to find some explanation for it. And I don't know, maybe the reality is like, no, this is just, I mean, the secular understanding of it's like, oh, this is just Bolshevism. It's like, this is what Bolshevism has been doing. It's like, you don't want to think that humans are so evil. You want to look for a supernatural. I don't know. It's kind of an interesting argument to be had. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys all next. Oh, the animals ate my network, so I have to upload over mobile, so that's why it's down to 480. But I don't have many minutes left on my data plan because I didn't know I didn't know that animals had eaten the wires of the network, so I used up all my plans. I've got like, I don't know, 60 megabytes less. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys all next episode.